So let's start off with what's the difference between water soluble and lipid soluble? How does that relate to hormones and how they work?
So I know they talked about some like actually travel through the blood, so those would need to be water soluble.
They both can.
Okay.
Both water and lipid soluble can.
Okay. I know they'd have to be lipid soluble to be able to cross through the membrane.
Good. Good. Yeah. So, and why is that? Why are they able to cross through the membrane? I mean, they're lipid soluble, obviously, like you said. But what about being lipid soluble makes them able to do that?
I guess all I know about that is just has to do with charge.
Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, I mean, all hormones are usually pretty small. So that's the first thing. Is they got to be small enough to fit through, right? But also they're charged. So lipid soluble doesn't have a charge. Because we've got that hydrophilic membrane. There's it's polar on the outside and inside, and then non-polar in the middle. So polar things are either going to get repelled or they're going to interact with the outside of the membrane, so they can't pass through. Whereas non-polar, it's like sliding a piece of wood past a magnet. It's not going to do anything. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. So yeah, it goes right past the membrane. So so then after that, how do lipid soluble hormones work? Lipid soluble hormones are going to go and interact with the DNA.
So straight to the DNA.
Yeah, all lipid soluble hormones do it that way. Testosterone is a good example of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. Here's our entire cell. And here is the nucleus. Nucleus has all these pores in it. So because that hormone is lipid soluble, like you said, it can go straight through the plasma membrane, and then it's going to find a pore, go through one of those pores to get down inside to the nucleus. So there are receptors for these hormones, but those receptors are actually in the nucleus. So let's say this is our receptor for that particular hormone. So our hormone comes in, binds to this receptor here, and that receptor is what's going to interact with the DNA. So once this gets activated, we've got our DNA here. So once this receptor gets activated, it's actually going to go over and make a DNA, or make an RNA copy of the DNA. So then what happens? We make this copy, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what we call that copy?
I was just reading. I think is it mRNA or no?
Yeah, exactly. So it's RNA, and we call it messenger RNA or mRNA. So the DNA, essentially, it's too important to let it outside the nucleus. I mean, that's our instructions for everything that we need to do inside the cell. So if that DNA comes out and ends up getting damaged, we're in trouble. So we're going to make a copy of RNA. So the RNA is going to find its way out into the cytoplasm. And then what happens from there?
It could either be can be transferred somewhere else or just create a new protein. Would it be in the cytosol?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is what this is the literal instructions or blueprint for making a new protein.
Right.
So you were right with that part. So this process right here, going from DNA to RNA, we call that transcription. It's just like we're staying in the same language. We're staying in nucleic acid language. We're just going from handwritten to computerized. We're just typing it up instead. Anyway, so we're just transcribing it, making a copy but the same essential format. So then we're going to come down here with the messenger RNA. We're going to feed that through ribosomes. So their job is to read the RNA, and then as they read the RNA, they read the instructions and they make proteins. It'll be like our protein right there. So this process we call translation, because now we're going from nucleic acid language to protein language. So this is my corny live feed illustration of how that whole process works. So the mRNA comes out, we have it right here, and then we have our ribosome. Right? So the mRNA literally feeds through the ribosome. And as that happens, if I had 4 hands, I'd draw at the same time, but as that happens, this protein gets pumped out, gets formed, and then there you have your protein. So whatever, that hormone is just going to bind to a specific receptor that'll activate a specific part of that DNA, a specific gene, and that gene is going to determine the instructions for which type of protein we're going to build. This could be a new membrane protein. It could be another ribosome. It could be a protein responsible for digestion within the side of the cell, or like metabolism. Really, it could be anything, but whatever that protein is, that's going to go cause whatever type of change in the cell, and that's the goal of the hormone.